God damn it. JD, man, come on, wake up. We got work to do. Come on. Is this what you want, Massa?
I just hate you again.
Fine.
All right, man. Just let me get ready, okay?
Wait, whoa. How'd you do that?
Shut the up.
Oh, okay.
All right, time to make some food before I do homework. But I am starving. First, meat. Nah, I'm not feeling that. What am I? Oh, perfect. This is gonna be messy. Oh, this is liver, right? Oh yeah. I'm so comfortable right now. Now bend over before I start this video. All right. It's really soft. It's not tender enough, so you gotta smack it a little bit, and then you gotta rub it. And then you caress. Perfect cube. Oh, God. So cold and wet. Oh, that was awesome. That's a rectangle. Okay. Yay. All right. There you go. Oil. Ha! Ah, yes.
That is dangerous.
Yes, it is. Wait. Chef. There we go. Ooh. All right, there we go. Yay. I'm not centered. Yeah. Hello everybody. You're probably wondering why I cook a meat cube. So this whole channel is about looking at what I do in class, and we're gonna be visiting one of my classes, not physically, because it's still the coronavirus season, but I will talk about it. This is an Elements of Digital Painting class. It's meant to help students kind of create textures by digital paint, helps you practice that. And today's assignment that I'm doing is food cubes. Here we go. Let's get started. But real quick, I gotta freshen up. I've had this for too long. I know it's the apocalypse. I tried growing an apocalypse beard mustache. I'm gonna shave it off, all right? No. Oh, okay. There we go. Yep. Yes. All right, let's get started. Sushi time. Today we're gonna be stepping into one of my classes that I'm currently in for art school. It's kind of a more fundamental class. This is a digital painting class, and the point of this class is to create cubes. It really gets you practicing on your elements. We don't just do food, we do things like rock, fire, do slime cubes. There's a whole bunch of cubes. It's really annoying. I hate it. I love it, it's great. Today we're making food-like textures in a cube form so you can really challenge your perception of depth and form. It's taught by a great teacher. His name is Robert Revels. He has a website. The link will be down below. He's a really great teacher, super fun guy, and I learned a lot. It really challenges how someone would paint digitally and make textures almost realistically. The way my teacher sets it up is making it kind of semi-realistic, and it's kind of a stylistic choice whether it's a little more cartoony. It's not the wrong answer, but mine tends to be a little more cartoony, just a little bit, but with like realistic elements. What's really important here when it comes to sushi and salmon is the specular reflections. It's a reflection of its environment. Those reflections on the salmon right there is coming from like a top light, and it depends on the material. Depending on the surface, something can be more muted or very sharp when it comes to specular reflections. And I think with the strawberry, and you can see like I pulled another person's food cube as reference from the past. I like to reference a lot of things. So this class has been taken before, so what I kind of did was I would Google, strawberry cube, and like put it to the side as reference, and I don't copy it exactly. I'm inspired by it very strongly. You see my leaves are a bit smaller because I just feel those leaves are too big. I don't know what kind of strawberry this guy was eating. Big leafed, at least with the values and getting the right type of highlights on the leaves, on the actual cube texture. The reason why we make cubes in general is because we want to have plane changes, and it's important to know how to digitally paint different surface areas depending on the element, but also getting the right value for that plane shift. There are a couple things that I find really important in this class that I didn't pay attention to. Part of it is using your layers in the sense of using opacity correctly, locking each layer to another layer to help with the value change. So what I'm saying is that, like say the strawberry for example, you make the local color, I put another layer on top of that and change the layer style, whether it's like multiply, overlay. I usually use multiply, overlay, soft light, and hard light. I'll show you exactly where it is in a little bit. You do that and you lock it to the layer below. By doing that, you can only color on that local color that you already made, and you change the values very easily without really having to work very hard on the exact like hue to make the highlights. Some key things that I wish I kind of knew from the beginning that I have learned. I can't tell you all the tricks, but there's a couple things I find key to making really good texture cubes, and that's make sure you go to the layer page, you make a new layer, go to a layer, you can click that N. It stands for normal, that's what the N stands for, and you can scroll down, up and down to change it to color dodge or to multiply, opacity, what have you. And you can lock that layer to the previous layer, touching it and going to the left, and you can see it says you can go to clipping mask and it will only lock that layer to the one previous, and it just speeds up the process that much more. Hopefully that helps someone. Banana time. For me, the banana was the hardest one. I don't know why. Yellow isn't my favorite color. Can't work with it at all sometimes. One of my least favorite colors. I appreciate yellow. The hardest part about the banana cube is getting the specular reflections on the skin and also getting the inside correct, because in the reference it has holding effect between the skin and the meat of the banana. Is that what it is? The meat of the banana? The meat of the bananas, or is it? I got real lazy and I didn't do the holding effect. I kind of just made it separate, just the skin of the banana and the insides of the banana. And there's only so much work you can get done. And it just wasn't working out. You can see here, I like took it away real fast. Like, nah, that's not working. That ain't gonna happen. So I decided to just separate them and put like even a little shadow in between the skin and the inside. And then there's the avocado, and I found this one to be really fun just because I like the texture of it. So I pulled the reference up from online and I shifted the colors a little bit. I'll start out here with the sketch first, and then I'll put in the local color, then I'll put in the value shift, changing the layer type. With this though, actually, I eyeballed the whole color, even changing the right side where with the shadows, the top light. I kind of just guessed on the color wheel or played around with it to see if it felt right, and if it felt right, I would apply that color change. It's important to mess around to see what fits your style the most. I think it is faster to use different layer types, but for here I definitely just kind of eyeballed it and used different brushes for different textures. The center seat was kind of funky. It was tough. It kind of looks like wood the way I painted it, but it's okay. It's fine. There's a lot of people in this class that are so much better than me. I'm just willing to make a YouTube video out of it. Yeah, cheese. Cheese was really fun. I definitely followed this one more strictly because I don't know, it looked like such good reference, and I was like, I'm just gonna do this. Besides the fact that it's important to be creative and do your own thing, it's also way more important to get an A. But I did not use those different layer changes. I kind of just eyeballed it, but the hue difference is different from the reference, so that was kind of just on me. I just played around with it. It still felt right. The meat cube, I go on the color wheel, find a color that's similar, and I go ahead and I paint over and to see what you need. And with meat cubes, it's really weird because you want it to have that sense of the fat needs to stand out, so you need to like make it the lighter color that it needs. Talking about the cubes individually is kind of hard. The thing I found really important about the meat cube is that meat texture in between the fats, like in the muscle part of the meat cube. So pay attention to that if you're painting textures and you do a meat cube. I think that's what makes it stand out as like meat. Besides the fat, it's like the fat and the lines in between the fat, the slight change in like hue, the maroon to the light reds in between those fats. That's what makes a meat cube. It makes it stand out. Thank you to everyone who is watching these videos. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who's watching these videos and supporting me. If you do like them, please consider subscribing and consider hitting that notification button. Waboosh, bam, punching that notification button, insert pound sound, and continue to support me. Thank you so much. Wait. Yep, that's liver. That's liver. Not the worst. Thank you.
I just won't cook it for you next time. Goddamn. All right.
I cooked it
Yeah, you
too.
did.
Here is the final product. Enjoy.